welcome back to some next level Starcraft 2. Let me introduce you to our two challengers today. In the top left, in the red, it is none other than Terran. In the bottom right, playing as the Firstborn, the man with both simultaneously the best and no plan, who's both 3 steps ahead and somehow 10 steps behind. He will open your mind and want it to be closed permanently at the same time. The Sewer Mermaid, the master of disaster. It is Florencio. So, a gateway, and also a probe building a pylon. Is this a 2-gate? No, it's 3 pylons. And everybody knows it's very important to maximize your pylon efficiency and necessary infrastructure safety rating as early on as possible. But I've never seen one this, well, exaggerated. It appears that the first probe is a decoy. The second pylon is not spotted. It's just out of vision range. I'm sure that's on purpose. No, that's not sarcasm. But it will block the command center, but command centers can fly, which is an important fact. The probe is alive. Cybercore on the way. He's just going to slap a command center next to it. Florencio has baited him into building a command center further away from the back of his natural, where, of course, there are 2 gateways in production. And also a pylon in the main, so Florencio was saying, look here, but do not look there. Will he fall for it? Well, it's not so much falling for it as have any sort of inclination. At this point, Terran is doing what I think most reasonable people would do, which is ignoring this tomfoolery and these shenanigans, and instead just going to move across and on with his life. He's working on the pylon now, starting to suspect that there might be foul play. What is this swine doing? There is no warp gate because Florencio, of course, is a purist. A Brood War Protoss at his finest. There's also a gateway building in the main. Let's just point that's a gateway, and it's building. The fact whether or not he has warp gate is irrelevant if he can just build units in his opponent's main. It appears Terran not respecting this thus far. Hidden behind. There are shield batteries on the way, but they're already inside the house. Florencio has successfully done a 4-gate all-in with gateways in 3 different locations. 2 of which have been wait, actually only 1 of which have been scouted. Which is the stalkers make it in. A zealot completes. The pylon's being targeted. This gateway will be shut down, but so will the factory. So another pylon is rebuilt, and there are 2 orbitals. The zealot will have to be, well, canceled, or it appears Terran not a little distracted by all the action in the main. The stalkers are going to work on the depot. Next up is, well, the Marauders. He has to retreat to the shield batteries at the back. There's a second tier of shield batteries. The probe still going to work. A probe, very important part of this. The probe, if it eats any shots, honestly, is quite helpful here. The shield batteries, 1's out of energy. The second one, though, the probe helping with DPS. The target fire's there. The shield battery's nearly out of energy. The first stalker will move up. More shield batteries online. The shield batteries can reshield themselves if necessary. But he gets to the high ground. The probe blocks the bunker from building. That means there's no wall. The stalker's chasing it down. The bunker's a little further back. The factory. He pretty much just had to cut the ribbon on it. Stim is done, but that only brings the Marauders closer to death. 4 stalkers against 2 Marauders. There's no healing those. The shield batteries are holding. The boys are pulled. It looks like the bunker may complete, but the long-distance shield battery gateway rush seems to have been effective. He decided to shield battery rush from another zip code, but he made his way in. Now the shield batteries are at the bottom of the ramp. Who needs warp gate when you can just build gates? And of course, Florencio going to expand as well. It almost like it just seems so simple. But he showed him everything he wanted to see and none of what he didn't. Like, he showed a pylon. He's like, oh, I'm a pylon. I'll put a gateway in the main. Yeah, that's dumb. You know what's not dumb? Having 4 stalkers and a bunch of shield batteries. Now, Florencio, there are only two SCVs left. He's not quite able to lay down the killing blow yet, surprisingly. He's going to build 2 robos at a safe expansion location. Terran's down to 3 SCVs, slowly grinding them back. There's actually a little bit of an awkward scenario, but it should be the case that even though mules are great, there's not much economic recovery potential from here. He's pumping out SCVs. Tank moving a little closer. The stalkers are moving out of shield battery range, which is dangerous here. And there are marauders. Florencio maybe getting a little ahead of himself. Uh-oh. Or was that a feint? No, I think that was more... Oh, wait a second. Tanks and marauders are pretty good. So this... Florencio, while he's taking a third, at this point, it does seem like Terran will be breaking out. He will survive this encounter. Somehow. All good things, right? Florencio up to 27 workers. He's building out of his gateways. Is he building at home now? He does recall his probes to his natural, which is, of course, his opponent's third. But an engineering bay. A third command center from Terran. A bold call. Disruptors are a strong choice. The thing is, tank's not terrible against them. The adepts will shade into the main. It'll be a serious nuisance here. The Marauder's going to stim. He delays the engineering bay. Really, any more worker kills. There's already been 30 killed at this point, so. The Marauders will break the knees of one adept and take it down. Ooh, the other one tries to come up the ramp. Gonna regret that decision. More disruptors on the way. The expansion being chrono boosted. Florencio macroing up. So this has taken a turn. I gotta give credit to Terran on his defense. Florencio might have had an opportunity to end it, but that opportunity passed. There's still plenty to be done, though. Florencio has a lot of backstop to work with. Disruptors are, well, they can kind of outrange tanks. It depends on the vision range. Of course, there's going to be 2 pylons here, which are, of course, for the 2 gateway. No, wait, Stargate, of course. Because now is the time for Chad race. Oh, yep, that's a dead immortal. As you know, if I can do a little bit of divining, which I think is what is required to understand Florencio, but the adept is trying to shade away, will not make it. I wait for the moment. Wait, a disruptor moves. Looking for the shot, takes the shot. Gets one. And now the disruptors have been revealed. So, Florencio is all about balance. Or lack of it. At some points, it seems like he has all the answers, and at other points, he has to ask the questions like, now what? Terran has done a pretty good job of recovering. It is literally only disruptors here, and I lied. There's one adept. The disruptors will take some more pot shots. There's really not much to stop. They're inside the house. So he did just fire all his shots, which means these marauders now have free reign and will kill the disruptors in a very awkward turn of events. He recalls the observer, which I don't think was the intent here. The disruptors are trying to break through the wall. So, Florencio's expanding again, but this is getting a little more like twists and turns. What looked to be pretty clear cut is becoming a maze here. Oh, a Stargate, a second Stargate, and 2 Colossi on the way. As this convoluted mess of a game. The disruptors. Oh, they bounce off because of the pathing. Let me in! Ah! Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just making my disruptor noises. He's firing disruptor shots at an orbital which can't lift, otherwise it exposes its units, but can be repaired. But won't be repaired at the speed. Well, we're fighting a disruptor cooldown versus repair. It appears so far the repair is enough. Meanwhile, there are cannons on the way. Disruptors can't do anything about liberators. So, if nothing else, Florencio is all about showing good games for the fans. And this has turned into quite an experience. The same things that make Florencio one of the most interesting and unique players also make him, well, these situations have a tendency to happen with an incredibly great frequency compared to your average StarCraft player. It's just, he's like the protagonist of a fantasy movie where things just keep seeming to happen to him, good or bad, but either way, we're really moving the plot along. So Florencio is continuing to work his way through with Colossi. There's a standoff with Liberators. Terran is at 64 supply. He's built some more bio. Florencio, on the other hand, is building 2 Void Rays and 2 Colossi. Which... we've completely transitioned out of gateway units, considering he only has a singular gateway and it's in his main, and Warp Gate is not only not being utilized, but he has a principled stance as a conscientious objector to Warp Gate research. So the shield battery pressure will continue, but with greater vigor. A little bit further outside the base, the Void Rays are working through the Liberators. There's not much to deal with them. And the bio units, and the disruptors curve back in. There wasn't much to be done. Now the Colossi, the splash damage. There looked like a moment my Terran, he might be able to recover. But not this day. Florencio takes it all the way. From pylon to gateway to Stargate to Disruptor to Robo to Nexus to all the other Protoss things. Hopefully you enjoyed that experience. What a roller coaster. I don't think the Terran did, but hopefully you did. So if you did, like and subscribe and ring that bell and check out Florencio live on stream. You can get thoughts inside the mind of the mermaid himself. Maybe some, I don't know if you can handle it, but you can try. But make sure to check him out. Thank you for that experience, and thank you for watching. Good luck, and have fun.